Hi there, C3 Wollondilly. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about our Vision Builders Building Fund campaign. If you're not familiar with Vision Builders, it's our annual campaign that we've been running for several years now that goes towards raising funds to help with our building and capital assets. This model of Vision Builders is practiced in a lot of C3 churches and lots of churches around the world, not just C3 churches, and it really has a biblical precedent in that you'll find throughout the Old Testament that whenever money was needed for building related situation, the temple, the tabernacle and so on, whenever it was needed to establish a building or to maintain or the upkeep of a building, then a special offering was taken over and above the commitment of the people of Israel to the tithe. And I would encourage you to be a part of that. If you've not been before, you can ask all the questions you need to find out more about it. But it's not compulsory for anybody who just attends our church to be a part of it. But we do encourage people to get on board and make some kind of commitment. Do something that you can do over and above your tithe. If you're not tithing yet, I'd say start there. Make that a consistent lifestyle or pattern. Begin either at 10% or working towards 10%, which is what a tithe means. And then over and above that, look for opportunities to be a contributor to God's house in our Vision Builders campaign. Now, I thought I'd take you through what's happened in the last few years and then show you what we're planning to do with this year's Vision Builders funds. And I'm really confident that if we can get the funds we're after this year, which is $20,000, if we can achieve $20,000, we can get into a position where our building is pretty much set. That'll take us into the next phase of our journey, and then it would probably be essentially upkeep, really, and we'd be able to put Vision Builders money aside, start to save Vision Builders money for the future. So going back to 2 years ago, the 2015-2016 campaign, we renovated. So I'm looking out over the auditorium now, and we had a stage used to run right across this side of the auditorium, and we moved it to where it currently sits, and we put these lighting boxes up and the new projector and this wonderful lighting rack on the ceiling. All of that was done in that campaign. Now, as well as that, in last year's campaign, we built the parents' room, which you can see here that I was just standing in, and also we built our kitchen area, which used to be completely exposed to the auditorium. So all these walls up in here and the cupboards and so on, that's all brand new within the last 12 months, and that's because you guys have contributed towards that. So now we have a beautiful, not just a small bench, we've got a nice long bench where we can host long table lunches and other events that we do. That's because of Vision Builders funds. So coming into the auditorium, you can see that our parents' room here and our kitchen area here are brand new. So these areas were completely open in the old auditorium, so it's made such a difference. The other thing we did last year is we installed a digital sound desk. The sound desk that we had, this one here we have now, is a digital sound desk. If you're not sure what that means, it just means it improves the overall quality and our ability to master the sound that is in this auditorium. And we've been able to do that. It gives a lot more flexibility and helps our music team. So that's what we've been able to do in our previous years. Now, our goal for 2018 campaign, beginning in the auditorium here, is we're going to soundproof all our auditorium walls here. We're looking at the best way to do that, but to help with overall sound. As you can tell when I'm standing in here on my own, it's very echoey, and it is on Sundays too at times. So that will just help with sound quality. We are wanting to, up above our auditorium here, we want to close this space off with a large piece of curtain around there, so it just creates two different areas between our auditorium and our foyer. We're going to do some final changes to our sound system. We're going to get rid of these speakers down here on the floor, replace them with in-ear monitors so that it'll improve for our worship team, help the sound quality, but also to make our music so much more professional, and our musicians are going to love that. So that's what we're doing in our auditorium. Now out here in the foyer, this is where the big moving and shaking takes place. Our plan this year is to put a rack up above our heads up here, similar to the one in the auditorium, to lower the sense of ceiling, get rid of these ugly orange lights up here and lower the ceiling down and create a much more nicer environment in here. Now on the floor here you can see I've got some vinyl floor tiles. These are ones that were left over from when my house was renovated, but we want to put these vinyl floor tiles all the way through our cafe area and into our preschool area. And that will create such a nicer feeling out here than the floors that are now 11 years old and are crumbling, have got paint on them and so on. So that's gonna really help our cafe. And then right here where the roller door is, we want to install a brand new entry into our church. And we'll be able to drop the roller door down for security during the week. But on weekends when we're here, we raise up the roller door and we have an entryway where people will come straight into our cafe, straight into the auditorium, and not have to go through our preschool room. What that means out here is that this space and upstairs, which has already had some work done to it, will be designated for children's ministry. So we'll be able to make this so that it's not a thoroughfare. It'll be designated a high quality environment for our children, for our families to be able to enjoy coming to church, a great place to have church. So that's what we want to do with our Vision Builders this year. So we want you to pray about it, be a part of this. The best way to do it is to do it in small amounts. You can pay a lump sum, but we do encourage people just to do smaller amounts. Set aside X number of dollars per week or per month or per fortnight and set it up as a direct deposit and just start bringing it into the kingdom of God, and you'll see how it'll contribute towards all we want to do. We want to get $20,000, have this place completely ready and a welcoming environment for new people to come into our church, new families to join us, to go to multiple services and have this church make such a great difference in the community. So God bless you as you prayerfully consider being a part of Vision Builders. We look forward to all that lies ahead for us in 2018.